when the drugs begin to take hold.
You're either in or you're out. Right now.
I want to gamble.
I never want to hear those words out of your mouth again.
Gambling is not your problem.
Has anybody ever told you before your bad luck?
Most gamblers, when they go to gamble, they go to win.
Those were my mother's dying words.
When we go to gamble, we go to lose. Show me the money.
Let's get out of here, man.
Show you the money.
Honestly, let's just go. Let's go to Vegas.
Jerry, I want you to say what you would mean it, brother. Show me the money!
It's the Sports Memory Vegas pregame show.
JC Super Bowl weekend. We made it, man.
It feels like it's over way too soon, man. I don't even like that this is the last week. We need more.
I know we need so much more. But it's arguably the biggest weekend in sports. And for today's show, we're going to cover daily fantasy. As you guys know, JC is your absolute guy to go to with everything DFS. And then we're going to go into some fun, silly props that we have because it wouldn't be the Super Bowl if you didn't have some fun with it. But before we get into that, let's get into some of your lineups, JC. And let's start, which I think is probably the most uninteresting position, but there's certainly a lot of strategy to it. Walk me through who you taking between Mahomes and Brady.
So I guess I have a lot of lineups with both of them in it. And so what you want to do kind of between the two, you can do like a game stack if you like the Chiefs moving forward, or if you're going to like the Buccaneers primarily on offense. The key person I'm switching the quarterbacks out with is Travis Kelce, so I'm not playing a ton of. So I'm either playing both or one or the other with Travis Kelce, and then kind of building the lineups from there.
Got it. Yeah, so it's you and Vegas are pretty split on Brady. We're going to get more into the statistical props tomorrow, but I mean everything Brady Mahomes is very close right now. What I think is the most interesting and definitely what Vegas has all over the place is the running back position. Break down kind of where you see some studs, some duds, and who you're rolling with at the running back spot.
Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup. They both run more like multiple backs. And so if you look at like even the last game, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 11 carries for 37 yards. Le'Veon Bell is actually a little bit more efficient for 5 for 22. But the play I like here for the Chiefs, if I'm going to play someone, it's probably going to be Darrell Williams. I just think that he's had 13 carries each of the last 2 weeks. Kind of like playoff Lenny, he seems to have won that role. He's won that trust for right now. He's going to be the cheaper option. So I kind of like Darrell Williams. On the other side, I really like Rojo. Ronald Jones is 2,200. 2,200. He's
a steal. It's the steal. It's the biggest steal of the entire play.
He's
tomorrow.
5,600 cheaper than Leonard Fournette. And in terms of rushing attempts, Fournette has 29 and Rojo has 23. So usage is pretty much there. The only big benefit for Fournette is he's had 13 targets to Rojo's 1. So you're just hoping for Jones to have either break a big one, get in the end zone, but he's almost a free play. I love it.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because Leonard is not a pass catching running back, but they're using him in that role. Why is that? Because neither one of them have shown the ability to catch the ball. Do you think they continue with throwing Leonard the ball tomorrow?
I'm hoping that they're going to diversify a little bit. They come out in a lot of 11 personnel, so it's going to be that one running back set. I'd like to see them run some. And that's what happens in Super Bowls. It's contrarian plays, it's overthink, and it's moving through. So if they have Rojo out there, the defense knows they're probably going to run. So I think they utilize him a little bit more in the past like they had earlier in the season. But Fournette, I mean, he had over 100 targets last year. He's become more of that passing down back than you would expect from him. So, I mean, I still think they're going to use him in that setting for sure.
So stepping away from DFS for a quick second and a little bit of a teaser for tomorrow. Speaking of the contrarian plays, over 2.5 players attempting a pass is at plus 1,000. Do you think we see a trick play and a trick play completion? So that plus 1,000 is a trick play completion tomorrow.
I don't know. I wish I had some more history because it seems like a waste with the two quarterbacks that are going to be out there, and I don't really know. I mean, who's the player that played quarterback in college out there?
Right. Yeah, not really on either team, right? I mean, I could see the Chiefs doing something with Tyreek, just because they like to get him in a lot of reverses, a lot of pre-motion plays. But I don't know. That's one I think I'm throwing $10 to win 100 at tomorrow. But anyways, back to DFS. Let's get into the wide receiver and tight end plays here because there is a wealth of options. So I'm curious if you're going with the studs, if you're going with Tyreek, Mike Evans, Godwin, or if you're digging a little bit deeper, maybe with a Hardman or a Scotty Miller or a Tyler Johnson. Where are you going in the wide receiver flex range here?
A lot of mid-range plays. Tyreek Hill is going to be my captain. That's something I tweeted last week, like during the games. If the Chiefs win, he's going to break Super Bowl records, and that's kind of what he did the previous game too. Tampa's corners just can't really match up. But in that same vein, Carlton Davis is going to be shadowing him, and we played this all year long as wide receiver 2s against Jamel Dean. It's usually a money matchup. So McCole Hardman, huge ceiling play.
Love McCole Hardman. Love him.
Break McCole Hardman just because he could break 1 or 2 pretty quickly and pretty easily for 5,600. Same way, though, a better volume play there is going to be Sammy Watkins, who was a full participant on Friday. I think he had 7 targets in the last game, so he could be a guy. Those two I'm kind of using interchangeably.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Chris Godwin for a second. He absolutely has got a case of the yips recently. He can't catch the ball. Do you think he breaks his funk and kind of has a breakout game? And what's your feel on Chris Godwin tomorrow?
So Chris Godwin was kind of the workhorse for the offense the last time that they met. He had 8 receptions for 97 yards. So he used him out of the slot pretty frequently. Since then, they have been using Cameron Brate more and getting him a little bit more involved in the offense. Mike Evans was pretty much a touchdown guy the last time they played. He had 3 for 50 and 2 touchdowns. But I like, and he's a full participant. He still is questionable. I actually like, it's kind of a gut call, is Antonio Brown, who did not play against the Chiefs the last time they played. What better of a guy you want as your, I guess, third wide receiver option in there, one of the greatest wide receivers of our generation.
We did not prep for this, JC. I absolutely hate it. Let's stop this right now. I was hoping to go. No, I want him to be a healthy scratch, which isn't going to happen. I used to love Antonio Brown, and now he might be public enemy number 1 at the Brister household. But yeah, so you actually have AB in a few of your lineups. That's unbelievable. I hate you.
I know it's just kind of a gut play. I mean, what better person to play villain in a Super Bowl than Antonio Brown? Based on everything that he's gone through with his entire offseason moving forward, for him to be the guy that ruins the Super Bowl, it's perfect.
I guess. I hate you, but I guess. So again, you teased it a little bit with your Cameron Brate play. What do you think about Gronk? Gronk seems to be the sexy anytime touchdown player. Seems to, he had that huge screen against the Packers. Do you think they have saved a couple plays for Gronk? What's your feel for him going in tomorrow?
I think so. I mean, we saw with AB too. Tom Brady's not afraid to get guys like the roster bonuses, and they haven't really had their big moment in the playoffs. And I think Brady will make it a point to try to get him in the end zone. He's cheap. He's the only 3,000 compared to Cameron Brate, who's 4,800. They finally priced Brate higher. They haven't done that yet this playoff, so they finally caught up on themselves in terms
Vegas
of
adjusting
game flow. But he's going to be in there a little bit because he's cheap, and I do think that he's going to make a point to at least try to get him a touchdown.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm staying away from both AB and Gronk, but I'm with you. I'm with you on Rojo. I'm with you on Brate, and I'm with you on Godwin continuing to get a lot of that share for Tampa Bay. And anyone else? And before we get into our fun little novelty props, anything else on DFS?
No, it's not too much it. I mean, I think just in general this week, have fun with it. This isn't going to be your big money-making week. Play some storylines, play some things that you have in your head, and just put some fun lineups together. any player could be pretty good. I think like
Williams Rojo is for me. That's the one I'm having the most fun with.
Yeah, Daryl Williams. I mean, Damian Williams was the MVP the last time, so why not Daryl? Like, I could see something kind of strange like that. There's going to be that one weird player that just shows up. So work some different guys into your lineups. Play a few.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going with the workhorses. I'm going with Tyreek, Kelsey, Godwin, but then as flyers, I'm going Williams and Rojo. As lower plays. All right, so that covers DFS. But again, it wouldn't be the Super Bowl if there's not absolutely off the wall props. And we talked about a few of them in the in preparation for this. The first one I want to cover is dog commercials. The line is currently at 4.5. How are you feeling for over under 4.5 dog commercials?
I'm definitely going over because we're all at home. We're in the pandemic. Everyone's buying dogs.
Yes.
There's going to be at least 2 Chewy commercials. I have no doubt about that. But they're going to work them in all over the place.
And I mean, they hit the heart so well. I mean, it's hard. You can't have a bad dog commercial, right? So I'm with you on over 4.5 dog commercials. Another one is showing Giselle. Currently, I mean, again, if I could make this my lock of the day, I would make it my lock of the day. It's currently at 0.5 showing Giselle. So basically showing Giselle or not. I'm taking the over. Isn't that a home run for them, the camera to get on Giselle at least once?
You would think so. And do they have like the same prop for Mahomes? I don't know if it's fiance, girlfriend, or whatever. Because I imagine them going back and forth between the two depending on game flow.
Did not see her. This is the sports memory where we have made an almost living on Mahomes' significant other. I don't know her name. But yeah, so you and me both. We both think Giselle gets on our screens tomorrow, right? Definitely. Cool. Another one is Nance bringing up gambling. This is actually plus money. It's the only fun prop that, well, other than the Gatorade, which we'll get into next. But it's yes or no on Nance bringing up gambling. It's yes is plus 110. Do you think he brings it up tomorrow?
Well, I think they have to because they've had a $2.3 million bet on the Bucks and also that $3.4 million bet from that crazy guy in Houston. So they have to bring that up at some point, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's legal in enough states, but it's illegal, and I don't know. So I think it's obviously that's what we do every weekend. So it's obviously on a lot of people's minds. But yes, I'm taking Nance bringing up gambling. The last fun prop I want to cover is Gatorade, right? It's one of the most popular ones. I was going with yellow. At plus 400 because that is what got used with Andy Reid last time. But you dropped some knowledge on what you think it could be. So tell the world what Gatorade color you're going with tomorrow.
Well, interesting. So I saw the Chiefs used orange during the last Super Bowl. Orange is plus 150. So I imagine continuity purposes. But I think the sleeper here is blue. Because the Patriots, whenever they were not afraid to splash all over Belichick, it was often blue. And I think that must be Brady's probably, he's got to control the Gatorade color and his favorite, flavor. So I think blue plus 800 is one I like too.
I love that. Again, if you're going to bet on Gatorade, you're not going to throw $5, $10, $20 at plus 125, right? You want to throw something. You want to throw $5, $10, $20 at plus 800. Right. I absolutely love the plus 800 blue Gatorade. That is a slam dunk, in my opinion, as just a fun little prop. Last prop I want to talk about is what is JC cooking? What is on your pandemic menu for tomorrow?
I don't know if you even really want to say this, Brandon. So obviously I'm not going out for the Super Bowl. We're still still quarantining. So I'm watching it with my girlfriend, and she requested a menu of some steak strips.
That's a good start. That's a good start.
We're doing zoodles. We're eating like keto on the Super Bowl.
Zoodles?
Have you had zoodles?
I have. My wife, absolute saint. She made them, and I think what I said was never again. So what's your strategy here? Are you gonna try to knock this out of the park and make an amazing dinner, or are you just gonna tank? Because I think there's a strategy for both here.
So it's a personal pride that like maybe I want to make myself like Zoodles, which is just the worst of both worlds between noodles and zucchini. Two phenomenal things that just don't need to be combined, literally ever. But the long-term play, I think, has to be I make them terrible. So this never gets requested ever again, and I can fully remove Zoodles off the menu for my life.
Yes. So again, this is a gambling show. I am taking JC at I'm laying $5 down that you make these amazing because you'll cave and you'll want to be a good boyfriend.
That's a really good fucking bet.
That's a good bet. All right, guys. Well, that is it for us. We will be back tomorrow to talk more statistical props. We will be talking over under. We will be talking the different lines you can get it at. But today, enjoy it. There's a lot of college basketball. There's some NBA plays. I covered that in my show last night. And as always, Jason, you have a great day, man.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right. See you, everybody.